I'll give you $1 million. You heal me, mocked the billionaire. But when the boy touched him, the impossible happened. Jackson Pierce once ruled Silicon Valley. At 44, he was the face of venture capital, a genius investor, ruthless negotiator, and unapologetic billionaire. But then came the car crash. One stupid, rainy night and a hydroplane Tesla later, he was left paralyzed from the waist down. That was 3 years ago. Now, Jackson lived in San Francisco but felt like a ghost in his own penthouse. His once legendary confidence had curdled into silent rage. His legs were useless, but the pain wasn't. It was everywhere else. In his heart, in his pride, in the way the world now pitted him. Every morning, he wheeled himself to Golden Gate Park, hiding behind aviators and a designer hoodie, parking beneath the same row of old oak trees, staring at the joggers with a bitterness he could practically taste. They still run. I rot. Not even his wealth could fix this. Every doctor had failed. Every experimental treatment. Every biohacking solution that cost more than most people's homes. So he sat, watching, fuming, until one day the boy came. At first, Jackson thought he was just another kid passing by, maybe lost, maybe homeless. But the boy stood there. Just stood. Wiry, maybe 7 or 8. Skin sun-darkened. A faded Chicago Cubs cap hung low over his brow. His t-shirt, once white, was now cream-colored with age. The green cargo pants he wore had more patches than fabric. A string pouch hung from his belt loop. But it was his eyes that made Jackson uncomfortable. Not because they were sad or afraid. Because they were calm. What? Jackson barked, adjusting his sunglasses. You lost? There's a shelter on 14th. The boy stepped forward slowly, his sneakers flapping slightly with every step, the soles worn paper-thin. I'm hungry, he said quietly. But if you feed me, I'll heal you. Jackson blinked, then burst into laughter. Okay, what is this? Some TikTok prank? Where's the camera? He looked around theatrically. Do I say hallelujah now or wait until after the miracle? But the boy didn't smile. I mean it, he said again. You're angry because no one could fix you. But I can if you feed me first. Jackson rolled his wheelchair an inch closer. The laughter hadn't quite left his voice, but something in him paused. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was the quiet defiance in the kid's voice. Okay then, he smirked. Let's make it interesting. He leaned back dramatically, spread his arms like he was on stage. I'll give you $1 million. $1 million. You heal me. Right here. Right now. He pointed to his legs. Make the magic happen, Houdini. The boy said nothing. He just stepped closer. Jackson could now see the faint dirt under his nails, the chapped skin around his knuckles. And still, those eyes. Steady. Steeled. You think you're the only one who suffered, the boy whispered. I haven't eaten in 3 days. My mom died on a hospital floor, no one cleaned. I gave away my only shoes last week to a kid whose feet were bleeding. The air shifted. Jackson opened his mouth, but no sarcasm came out. I don't want your money, the boy said. I just need you to believe. Jackson scoffed. Believe in what? Faith. The boy shook his head. No. Just believe there's still something good left in you. There was a silence between them now. Heavy, thick like fog. Then the boy stepped even closer. From his pouch, he pulled nothing. He simply opened his hand, empty, palm up, and held it out like it was full of invisible hope. Jackson laughed again, but it was weaker now. You think? The boy reached forward and gently placed his fingers on Jackson's knee. And that's when the laughter died. Because Jackson felt something. A twitch. A tremor. The slightest tingle, but real. Real. His breath hitched. It's not real. It's in my head. This can't. But the sensation grew. From his shin to his thigh. A warmth. A low hum like electricity slowly waking up dead wires. He jolted. What the hell did you do? The boy looked up at him. It's not me, he said softly. It's him. Jackson's heart thudded. He gripped the side of his chair, suddenly afraid. Him? You mean God? Micah nodded once. The one you stopped believing in. Jackson swallowed hard. This is a trick. But deep down, he knew it wasn't. Because the thing stirring inside him wasn't just muscle memory. It was something else, shame, maybe, recognition. Pain that wasn't physical. You want to be healed, Micah said. But you don't want to be whole. Not really. You want control. Jackson looked away. No doctor could fix you, because this was never about your legs. Then what was it about? Jackson whispered. Micah stepped back. You crushed people to win. Fired your assistant, Nate, when his daughter was in ICU. Cut your partner, Jeremy, out of a deal. Left him bankrupt. You told your wife, Kara, to leave because her sadness after her miscarriage made you feel weak. How do you know that? Jackson choked. I don't, the boy said. But he does. Jackson's throat burned. His eyes stung. What do I do now? He whispered. Micah's voice was calm. Feed someone hungry. Forgive someone you hurt. Give, not because it helps you sleep, but because it gives someone else peace. Then maybe your legs won't be the only thing that comes back. He turned to leave. Wait. Jackson cried, rolling forward. I have money. Take it, take the house, the cars. Micah stopped. I told you. I don't need your money. Someone else does. Then he walked away. Down the winding park path. No applause. No miracle music. Just a boy with dust on his hands and faith in his eyes. Jackson sat there, shaking. Then slowly, hesitantly, he pressed down on the footrests of his wheelchair. And for the first time in years, he stood. And he wept. 1 week later, a local news crew broadcast live from Micah's Table, a nonprofit center in Oakland serving hot meals, shoes, and clothes to families in need. It was fully funded by a silent donor, Jackson Pierce. There was no suit, no Rolex, just a man in a plain shirt, sleeves rolled up, handing out trays of mac and cheese. He asked every person their name, every single one. And each time he stood, feeling the concrete beneath his feet, he remembered the boy who had nothing, but gave him everything. Faith, redemption, and a second chance.